deep core of the galaxy, the war for Tython burns. The Rakata Infinite Empire has descended upon the system with all its cruelty, enslaving worlds, leaving nothing but ruin in their wake. For a year, the Jedi Order and the settled worlds have resisted, but the struggle has pushed them to the edge. The Jedi were once guardians of balance. Now they are soldiers, and their war has only just begun. This is the first part of Star Wars: Dawn of the Jedi, Volume 3, Force War. After the chaos of Xesh's arrival and Dagon Locke's prophecies coming true, the Jedi Council is forced to act. Locke, once an exile on Bogan, is released and made General of the Jedi Army. For the first time in years, the Jedi openly prepare for full-scale war. Xesh, once a slave of the Rakata, now teaches the Jedi how to forge and wield Force sabers, weapons powered by the dark side itself. These blades become the Jedi's only hope of standing against Rakatan technology. But in wielding them, the Jedi inch closer to darkness, risking the very balance they swore to protect. Meanwhile, Tasha Rio joins the Seers, Jedi who interpret visions of the Force through dreams, hoping to foresee the Rakata's next moves. But the enemy is already closer than the Jedi realize. Among them walks Trill, a Rakatan Force Hound, who has infiltrated the Order by deceiving Seknos Wrath and concealing her nature. She watches, waits, and prepares to strike. The Rakatan Flesh Raiders, brutal monstrosities bred for destruction, ravage the system under the command of Force Hounds. The Jedi rally alongside the settled worlds. Xesh fights in the swamps of Rio Fortress. Hawk Rio leads fighter strikes against Rakatan walkers. The battles are merciless, and though victories are won, each one costs the Jedi pieces of themselves. The longer the war drags on, the more they abandon balance for survival. Predor Skalnas, the Rakatan commander, seethes at defeat. In a brutal display of authority, he executes his own subordinate, Chilit, for questioning his strategy. But before her death, he reveals his true plan: to find the legendary Infinity Gate hidden on Tython, an ancient Qua artifact of unimaginable power. Skalnas intends not only to conquer the system, but to restore the Rakata's fading connection to the Force itself, by feeding on Tython's unique energy. The war weighs heavily on Xesh. His nights are haunted by nightmares of the Rakata and the life he once lived as a Force Hound. Shay Koda, sensing his torment, draws closer to him. Their bond deepens, and in a moment of trust, Xesh reveals his true name, Tau. But peace is short-lived. The Rakata extend an offer of surrender, demanding Tython itself. The Jedi know it is a lie. Guided by Xesh's Force Hound instincts, they strike directly at the Rakatan command center, hoping to assassinate Skalnas. Tasha Rio foresees bloodshed in a vision. Her warning comes too late. The Jedi walk into an ambush. The trap is sprung. Flesh Raiders and Force Hounds swarm the Jedi, slaughtering many and capturing others. Xesh and Trill fight side by side, and together they uncover a horrifying truth. The Rakata use their captives as living batteries, enslaving Jedi inside their machines to power weapons and starships. But before Xesh can act, Trill strikes. She betrays him, capturing him for Skalnas. The deception is complete. In captivity, Skalnas unlocks the truth of Xesh's past. His crash on Tython was no accident. He had betrayed Tulkar, his former master, sabotaging his ship and ensuring his death, all on Skalnas's command. The mental blocks placed on Xesh's mind had buried these memories, but now they return in full. Broken by guilt, Xesh yields. He tortures Dagon Locke for information and learns of the Infinity Gate's location, deep within the chasm of Tython, where Locke had gotten his dark visions of the future war that takes place at this moment and got him imprisoned on Bogan. His betrayal complete, Xesh and Trill join Skalnas in a devastating dark side assault against the Seers. Across the system, every Jedi Seer is blinded in a wave of agony. Before their sight is lost forever, the Seers share one final vision. The Rakata will march on Anil Kesh, the great temple of science at the very heart of Tython. The Jedi are weakened, the Seers are blind, and Xesh, once their ally, has fallen into the grasp of his old master. The war for Tython is about to reach its darkest hour. This is the beginning of the end. If you've enjoyed this dive into the Dawn of the Force, subscribe and prepare for Part 2, where the war reaches its devastating climax. You can also explore my other videos on Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm and The Prisoner of Bogan, as well as the novel Into the Void. May the Force be with you.